Governor Jim Pillen lays out his plan for state aid to Nebraska schools. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, Governor Jim Pillen and a group of lawmakers laid out plans for updating state aid to schools and providing a measure of property tax relief through 3 bills. The measures include creation of the Education Futures Fund, using $1 billion in state revenue this year, with $250 million a year for 5 following years that would pay for a new component to the state aid formula, and more. Senator Rita Sanders of Bellevue said the $1,500 per student in foundational aid and a plan for state and federal funding to pay for 80% of special education costs would lift all boats.
Under this proposal, the state would invest roughly $113 million in foundational aid and roughly $170 million, $57 million in additional special education support. Under this plan, no district will receive less aid than they already do today.
A third measure would impose a cap of 3% on increases in total district revenues, which could be overridden by a supermajority district board vote or submitting it to the voters. During yesterday's news conference, Pillen said the package is not just more government largesse.
I've talked about it endlessly. There's a big difference between spending and investing. These are investments into the future of our kids, and these are investments that will also allow us to have a great impact on cutting property taxes across the state.
Pillen says with extraordinary revenues, the state can afford to make such an investment. Well, the legislature's Rules Committee held a marathon hearing session last week, taking testimony on more than 50 proposed changes to the procedures governing the conduct of lawmakers' daily business. A proposal by Senator Megan Hunt of Omaha to eliminate the daily prayer at the start of each day of business drew plenty of comments for and against. Hunt said she didn't feel it should be part of official proceedings of the state.
The legislature is not a religious institution, and we represent people of all faiths and creeds, some of whom have never heard their faith represented in an opening prayer on the floor of the legislature. And so I think it's inappropriate that we have religious activities as part of our official agenda, because we're here to make policy on behalf of all of the people. And I would hate for some people to feel like there's a bias in this body.
The committee was taking testimony on all 55 proposals before they began debating which they will accept. Chair Steve Erdman of Bayard noted that the overall number was more than double the changes proposed at the start of the 107th legislature. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
It's time for the recycling game. Question 1. Where do you recycle old electronics in the Tri-City area?
The Environmental Services at 609 East 2nd Street.
Correct. Question 2. Where can you find recycling trailers?
Trailers can be found in Gearing and Terrytown.
Correct. Final question. How can you dump recyclables and not have to sort them?
The Free Stream Recycle Bins from the city.
That's correct. You just won a cleaner and happier city, brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater.
welcome back. The Nebraska Department of Transportation says several highways are becoming or already impassable in central and western parts of the state as we deal with the latest major winter storm. I-80 is currently closed to all westbound traffic from Kearney to the Wyoming state line, closed to eastbound traffic from the Wyoming state line to Lexington, and in Wyoming, the interstate is closed from the Nebraska line to just east of Cheyenne. NDOT officials say as the storm continues to develop, more closures will occur. Travel is not advised in many parts of the state. Well, the slowdown in the economy may have had an impact on boardings at the Western Nebraska Regional Airport last year. However, the overall figure did eclipse a very important mark. Airport officials tell KNB News that there were 11,087 passengers for SkyWest during 2022, with another 1,182 on medical flights for a total of 12,269. Now that is down from the 13,000 and change last year, which included 12,000 plus commercial passengers, and well off the record base of 2019, which saw a total of nearly 17,000 flying SkyWest, with another 948 medical passengers. However, the 2022 figure is enough to meet the 10,000 boardings required for the airport to be eligible for $1 million from the Federal Airport Improvement Program funding. And a 30-year-old Gering man who was arrested in connection to a stolen pickup in September has been sentenced. Gering police responded to a call of an abandoned pickup on A Street, and upon arrival, the officer made contact with DJ Gibbons, who was working on the truck. A run of the plate showed that the vehicle was reported stolen out of Morrill County, and last Thursday he was sentenced to 364 days in jail after he pleaded no contest to a charge of theft by receiving property more than $5,000, and he did receive credit for 120 days already served.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital, so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
USDA recently granted a conditional license for a vaccine to protect the country's honeybees from foul brood disease. The vaccine was developed by Dahlen Animal Health, a small biotech company working primarily on bee diseases. Amy Floyd, field technician and beekeeper relations for Dahlen Animal Health, explained more about the bee disease foul brood.
So American foul brood is caused by a bacteria called Paenobacillus larvae, and it kills the developing larva in honeybees. And it's really contagious and can be really deadly when you have an infected hive. And right now there aren't any treatments for it. Antibiotics are used sometimes to suppress it. But really the only effective method is burning hives. So it's the first treatment specifically for AFB.
Floyd says the disease is a spore-forming bacteria which can spread really fast. Primarily, it infects the larvae and then the worker bees feeding them. spreading throughout the hive and eventually to others. To build the larvae's immunity, Floyd says the queen is vaccinated before she goes into the hive with some of the bacteria in a jelly fed to her by worker bees.
Workers actually eat that vaccinated candy and then they feed it to queens, and those vaccine particles work their way through the queen into her ovaries. And then when she lays eggs, those vaccine particles are also present, prime those larvae, expose them to that before they hatch. So when they are brand new baby larvae in the hive, they're primed and ready to fight against AFB if they are exposed to it.
Floyd says the vaccine should be available in the spring of this year. Beekeepers can learn more at their website, Dalan, DALAN.com.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the people you know and trust.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, the West Nebraska Arts Center will be hosting their wine tasting fundraiser this Saturday with a theme of A Night Out West. Program Director Steph Coley tells KNB News you can dress as your favorite Western character, dress in a Western theme, or just come as yourself.
So we encourage people to wear their favorite character, like Western character, or just come Western theme, or you can come as yourself.
They will have live entertainment, basket and dessert auctions, and just a fun evening out.
It helps us stay open. It helps us provide free, like the makerspace, free activities for families, and it also lets us keep our costs down for the classes that we do provide. And so I encourage you to help us out. If you want to be a sponsor or just help, like an in-kind, come help us serve some wine or something. Come see me. We want to include everybody.
No one under 21 will be admitted, and the event runs from 7:30 to 10 p.m. Saturday at the West Nebraska Arts Center. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.